between all of that and then the fucking, like, if you look at every supervillain over the fucking years where he purposely trained his mind to be able to resist mental attacks, it's just fucking insane. Because that was like the main prognosis between that and the only other thing that he has no control over because he doesn't fuck with it because he's a respectful dude is fucking magic.
Right, that was always his weakness. Which they hit that nail about 18,000 times in Injustice.
Which is understandable because everyone's trying to take down the strongest man in the universe.
No, absolutely. But it does get a little bit played out by the end.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, what else are you gonna do against, like I said, the strongest?
Against Superman, right?
Yeah. All right, so
D&D.
Last time, shortest recap ever on Ashes of Otren. After arriving within Secondor and debating very briefly and politely with the King and Queen, or thus the figureheads of it, the ones that were preaching Leviathan's protection, you found out, in brief synopsis, that the storm giants that live with them are kind of just at a natural peace with each other. The power maintains the ruins and prevents them from being destroyed, as well as gives them a place to live with extra protection that the storm giants are there in agreement and just have just total homogenized state of relaxed peace where many others that have come from the church or other locations have not been able to really affect this situation. The previous guardian that they had, which was the water elemental left by Leviathan from the plane of water, had slowly become corrupt over multiple attacks. They requested that, unfortunately, in the matter of that and that corruption, that you would handle the situation, if possible, to send them back to the water plane by outright destroying their body here, as it wouldn't kill the elemental lord outright, and it would just exact them back to the elemental plane of water, purifying them from the corruption that had happened in this land. After that agreement, you had headed out to the location that they had informed you of. Not more than a day, half a day's travel. You found the aforementioned shipyard that had been kind of crushed and collected over the time. It did take note that it was very strange that the mass amount of the ocean here had absolutely no other sea life to see. Not even bodies from the wrecked ships. After Ashen had seen the skeleton of the other ship that had been underwater, decided to go and investigate, and realized very quickly that the myriad of skeletons that should be littering the seabed floor was within the hull of the ship. After going to approach the hull, was very quickly attacked by a tendril that tried to grab onto him. And with a quick retaliation and a quick jolt from the party, the tendril retracted and you heard a voice calling out that hurt. And especially a strange childlike voice. And especially seeing the danger it was in, refused to come out of the ship and purposely inked the entire area, which most of you could feel that even in the close proximity, the almost noxious fumes and leaking ink going through the water was highly toxic. After that situation, you realized that the water itself had almost begun to blur your vision, purposely, like the element itself was trying to fight against you. Paulgain had to leave for a brief time, as suddenly there was acid rain starting to pour down in the area, and he's trying to make sure that the sails would not get destroyed. In a brief and intense fight, the water elemental had called upon extras to try and beset the party, which was quickly dispatched, but was also assaulting you with a storm of vengeance, as well as various other elements to try and whittle you down as much as it could before quickly rolling in and trying to consume you all in its body. At that point, you felt some of the acid salt bath that was washing over you. You had managed to stave it off. Thankfully, it did not have the elements on its side as it was having the issue controlling itself, but you quickly dispatched the immense level of durability that this creature had and managed to banish it fully from this realm. And now you have an area of the ocean seemingly returning to peace, and, well, juvenile kraken that's inside the ship as you are debating what you wish to do next, of either just return back to Sigdor to request the meeting with the Myriad, or, well, if there's anything else that comes to your mind.
Just while we're all here, I'm gonna hit a quick water breathing, recast that, just refresh our time to another 24 hours.
Alright.
So, Josh, I just want to make sure, as far as we know, was the creature destroyed and sent back to its plane of existence? Or did we see Ramus suck its soul?
At that point, you did see Ramus suck its soul. And especially for a very intense moment, it looked like he was kind of being lurched out of himself mentally. But also now his very obvious unable to hide arm is seemingly made of shadow material that wisps every once in a while, kind of almost like a flame licking at kindle over his body.
Which arm?
Which arm do you usually hold a Rotonapor with?
I'm a ready, so I guess Ramus will be a ready.
Then your right arm.
At all times, or just holding the sword?
At all times.
Okay.
Your right arm is now permanently infused with shadow. It almost seems like it doesn't exist.
Solid, or
It's still solid, but it almost looks like the shadows, like fire doesn't have any heat to it, but it looks like as if we're fire trying to eat away at wood. Kind of constantly
okay,
looking at your arm.
Anything cool happen, or I just get shadow arm?
Shadow arm as far as you know, but at the same time you haven't had a moment to really rest and feel what follows suit.
Did we do a telepathy spell? I can't remember.
Yes,
connected?
Rary's telepathic bond. You guys were also connected for most of whatever an hour, however much of an hour is left.
Alright, then Thalos is going to shoot a message to everyone to keep their distance. And and he will slowly float his way towards Ramus. And Ramus, what have you done?
Ramus gives everybody like that kid at the computer thumbs up meme after he sees his arm.
Alright. Holding my spear behind my back. Put poison strike just in case. Are you in control, my friend?
Looks to be it for now.
Well, this was your choice.
Does this happen a lot?
Not that I've seen. This is new.
Was it your choice to devour that creature? Answer me.
Yes, it was.
Well, then it will be your responsibility to explain your betrayal of the promise we made. We said we would free that creature.
Give me a second saying hi to Andrea. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. Go. Hi, Andrea!
Hi, Andrea.
How do we say was good?
I gave her a little bit of RP instead of you guys.
Oh my.
It's like, hi, welcome home.
Oh.
I honestly don't really have a good explanation RP wise. I just kind of, as me as a person, out of game, wanted to see what was gonna happen. I started the game recklessly. I'm gonna end the game recklessly.
More than fair? All right. Well, with Ramesses' acknowledgement that he did this himself and that he wasn't possessed, but after we all just saw him almost fall into the darkness, if it hadn't been for Ashton sort of like wrapping his arms around him,
Because we need power. How about that? Yeah, there we go. There's still things that I know that you guys don't, but
Sure.
Power. We're going up against the baddest of the bad, and okay isn't gonna cut it.
Power is not worth the risk of your soul, my friend.
But it's worth the risk of everybody's life.
For all we know, if you fall to the darkness, you'll take all of them.
And I roll an insight as to see if I think that Ramus is actually the one in control, or if this is something pretending to be Ramus.
Go right ahead.
That's a 23.
You definitely saw a very hard switch between the two forms, almost betwixt the fact that his form almost been consumed by a shadow, but also the lurch and jerk. You could tell there's definitely not even a battle of wills anymore. There's that teetering brink where the glass is about to tip over if something pushes it once more. And you know full well that it isn't even helping with between charms. This is a point where it's something that is immediately anchored to his soul now, especially for what his arm looks like.
He has been affected, and there's no going back.
Yes.
Okay. I make a mental note.
I'm going to
Actually, I because I can mentally speak to people, I will pass that along to Thalos. I will say, he seems to be telling the truth, but he's never gonna be the same as he once was.
I can feel it. I sort of say back to Mudar. Placing myself between the party and Ravis. I do sheath my weapon though. Ramos, when you first took the sword, I promised I
Hello,
would
Papa.
stop
Thank you for the wake up. God damn.
But honestly, looking up at his 8-foot tiger form, I don't think I can. If you fall to the darkness, few of us will be able to stand against you. We cannot take that risk.
I have pretty good faith that the combined strength can handle this. But we're good for now. I heard the one more, right? Did anybody else hear that, or was that like in my head?
That's
I
purely in
assumed it was
your
just
head.
you.
Yeah, we're good for now.
Narrows eyes at for now.
Yeah, right.
I don't know how else to explain it, but
What do you mean for now? I'm a little concerned about this.
choices I have to make, or I can choose to make.
And choices we'll have to make in response. It's okay.
Yeah, but this could always just be a much more communal activity. If it's going to affect a lot of people, like.
What are you saying?
I guess just it doesn't have to be only decided by you if you don't want it to be.
Rams flips the sword around in the scabbard. Do you want to try and touch it? I wouldn't recommend it.
That's not what I'm saying, and I think you know it.
Trust me, none of you want a part of this after what I've seen.
Then why are you still holding on to it?
And why are you
Power,
saying it'll
duty.
affect us?
What
Power, duty.
power requires you to burn
fate.
away your own life?
Lots of it.
Then maybe you weren't meant to have it.
Ramus, even the original council were wary of the Black Runestone, and to date, they're still more powerful than we are now.
Without the runes, yes. Without the
True.
runes and weapons, yes.
Hmm.
Let's just call it destiny.
Can
There's
you?
there's much I cannot explain. You'd have to, This was this blood hunter thing, guys. It's not just a phase.
understand.
It's not just a phase.
Well, what if you were able to? I don't know. I don't want to say give us a signal to kill you, but if you were losing control, I could try and help. I know some mind magic. Maybe we could do something.
Yeah, pick a safe word.
Yeah,
It
perhaps.
doesn't really work like that, but
Then why are
Tiger
we
Daddy?
keeping you alive?
Leather Daddy? Tiger Leather?
what leather daddy?
If you're that close to failing and slipping, you're already a 100% threat.
You
And
said.
I
sorry.
apologize for all of you. I know he's your friend, and I know what it's like to lose one. But you aren't just soldiers on a battlefield. You're something a lot greater than that. And that makes your friend greater threats.
Well,
He's right.
these are sacrifices we all take with these runes.
You're not making a sacrifice, you're writing a suicide letter.
If we want to accomplish what we set out to do. Unfortunately, there's no clean win in this.
I can tell you all that Amos has been keeping a beast at bay the entire time, even before he had the sword. But Ashiki is right. You do not need to bear this burden alone, my friend. We are our brother's keeper.
He
Keep
looks
an eye
at
for
the.
you.
Does Talos keep the rune on him, or is it like around his neck?
It's in his belt buckle. No, he does that. No, it's around his neck.
Oh, you still haven't put it into the halberd,
I
right?
haven't put it in the halberd because
keep
Talos
forgetting.
is kind of he's kind of
I
scared
point
because he's
at
seen.
it. Yeah, everybody. Well, who else has one besides you?
Rain.
Just Rain.
Only Rain. It's the three of you.
You'll all have to make your own decisions.
What, a shiny?
You'll all have to make your own decisions with these things. Unfortunately, there's no good
Are you
one.
talking about my gem?
Yup. Your
My gem's not
Your
good?
runestone, yeah.
Its source is not. No.
But that doesn't make it bad, right?
Nope, it's what you do with it.
Exactly. I think we're okay. I think we'll be okay.
Would you let me? Perhaps my specialty is abjuration. Perhaps I could set up some sort of warding or something.
Mental shield, perhaps.
I believe I have something that could work.
You don't want to connect with this.
I would never do
Trust me.
something like that. I merely am thinking about erecting a shield around it. Something to trigger, possibly to warn us, or give you a moment to prepare yourself.
Out of game, is it smart idea to let them know essentially what runs the runestones, or would that like scare the party off? Because
I mean, that's a decision
it's
you have to
power,
make.
but like, I don't think you all. I've had this thing the longest, which is probably the only reason why I've gone this far. But I think nobody really understands what they're asking for with these things.
And try explaining it to us, That's
Okay.
a character decision.
That's entirely up to you, bro.
Would Ramus try and explain?
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, but I'm more thinking not only would he try to explain, would he, I guess for sake of warning, these runes are all powered by demons you cannot even imagine. Or were they demons or devils? Demons? Or just interplanar beasts?
For the ones in Rototopar, that would be a myriad mix of both devils, demons, and even other higher powered creatures' primordial existence.
Right, yeah. These things are powered by creatures you could not even convince. Things that make everything we've dealt with now look like children. But what you do with it is up to you. You either use it for good, make that set, or you don't use it at all. Both way, either way, you have to make a sacrifice. And if you want power, that's why we're looking after these gems, to accomplish our goal, because without it we cannot. So it's up to you to stay where you are, or do everything you can to accomplish our goal.
We are also
I
seeking
wish
this
you all don't actually understand what these things come with. Hopefully you don't have to, but for what we need, you might not have a choice.
We are also doing this thing to keep them out of the hands of Pelgrim. We cannot forget. We cannot have them fall into the hands of darkness, and we cannot fall to darkness ourselves. If you find yourself growing close, you have to let us know.
And I believe I can help, if only to give you a moment, possibly to separate you from the sword if something happens. I know of magic that can activate upon specific circumstances. It's sort of like a contingency spell. Maybe I could set up something where it would create a cage of some sort, either for you or the thing in it. Even if it doesn't work, it is worth attempting. If the thing is as dangerous as you were saying, I cannot just stand here and do nothing.
Out of game question for DM.
Mm-hmm.
What the one more, was it like one more in general, or just that amount of power was like?
Roll me an insight.
Because I've only done a handful of like super large,
large, super powerful beings.
yeah. The rest has just been like cannon fodder.
In character, how dare you suggest a cage to a tiger man?
The Tiger Man planning to destroy us all, or thinking he might destroy us all?
50-50. You're not sure if the strength level, it could be someone of significant power. It might not even have to be a creature like you had just fought, or another like Son of Dagon.
Would it be power matching my own that counts, or just any great power? Because I'm sure we can come across great power, but we're pretty beastie at this point, you know?
You would feel that it's probably power matching your own. Small, not to be crude, but foddered souls that you would meet on the front line would probably be morsels compared to what it's probably hoping that you grab along the line.
Okay, so it's like the same way XP works. Similar level and above makes a dent. Anything below is like whatever.
Just about.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Don't worry, I'm here for now. This is... I don't know how to explain it, but this is a choice. I mean, I guess I sort of explained that I met one of my guys in there, but I guess I didn't really talk much about what happened, but you all have this own choice of yours to make. And either you know your limit, or you don't. Insert great power, great responsibility, Spider-Man speech.
Well, when we return to the ship, I would appreciate at least a moment to examine it and see if there's anything I could do to help protect you from it. If you are willing to share the burden, we are here to bear it with you.
Agreed.
It's hard to explain. You kind of need to become one with it.
Oh, I don't have any desire to use any of the magic. I intend to set up essentially a domino or a door trap, if you will, to alert us all if the bindings of the gem fail.
It doesn't exactly work that way. You offer it something and it gives you in return. But as you offer, you get stronger, so does it. So eventually you either give it too much or you figure out what's just enough.
Do you know what is too much?
Actually, yeah, kind of. In game, we'll know when we get there.
Oh shit.
Okay. Well, I can set up a trigger that takes place when you lose mental control to create a wall of force around you. If
Can you make it around all of us?
I can make it as I would have to decide how big it was when I set up the contingency, but it could be up to I think 100 feet. How big is a wall of force?
Is there a sleep option, Modar?
Yeah, hold monster, suggestion to sleep. There's a bunch of different ones, and I could set up several over the course of a couple days. Like a dispel magic and a magic circle and a hold monster. I could set up several things.
Directly to Modar. We will research them all.
I'll need quite a few very expensive gems. I'm starting a shopping list. Most of the things on the shopping list are gems worth 1,500 GP. I also need a lot of ivory.
What about the elephant?
Hey, man.
So, what about sashimi over there?
Let it be. Unless we're really trying to get this thing in a moat near us.
It seems unlikely that it would be happy there.
I think we should probably just leave it be.
Do you think there's any way we could convince it to defend the city?
Now that's an idea.
There is always the attempt. I could, make it friendly to us. I can cast Charm Monster.
Maybe I should talk to it.
You have away with what?
I forget how Charm Monster works. If it succeeds, they know we charmed it afterwards, but if it fails, does it know?
If it fails, it would also know. It would
okay.
function kind of like the
You
suggestion.
hang alone or try and talk to it. If not, then
How long would it last?
on.
An hour.
Oh. I was thinking something a bit more permanent.
Yeah.
You know, just like a working relationship. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hello. She like calls out to the baby kraken.
You see one big red eye kind of like peer out from between the skeleton of the ship. What do you want?
Yeah, so we were wondering, there's a city close to here, and she points in the direction. And we were wondering if the need ever arises, would they be able to call to you for assistance? Do you want me to roll for anything?
Before that, it does kind of responding like, I'm too small to assist anyone.
To what?
Too small to assist anyone.
What? That's not true at all. Her feathers kind of fluff up around her in the water. You're bigger than we are, and we took out those insane things over there, and so if you're, bigger than we are, you can take out a bunch of different things that are bigger, right? Right? And she looks behind her at everybody, right?
I nod.
Not a
Oh,
good
yeah,
lines.
absolutely. That's exactly what I was thinking. Yep.
Roll me persuasion at advantage since you get the whole crew and nothing.
Oh, do we all roll too?
Just the Shiki, because oh my.
Okay.
Ooh.
Board.
Dodge that 4.
I could be strong like you.
You can be strong like you.
That needs to be a t-shirt.
Yes.
Oh my god, best pep talk ever, guys.
I guess I could see if they're nice like you.
All right, fuck yeah, sick. She pumps her fist.
Nice work, Ashiki.
Thanks. He just needed a little bit of a confidence boost. Or they, I don't know.
Best quote in existence. You better put that on a t-shirt.
Seriously. That was great.
Do we have a quotes channel in here?
We need to make one.
I will add one.
Yeah, please do. That'd be great.
You guys should have all gotten a ping from the channel.
There it
Not a
is.
ping, but there should be a message in it.
Alright, so the juvenile kraken will squiggle their way out of their little den here and slowly approach all of you. You can see, even though this is a very young kraken, this thing still dwarfs even the stone elemental that's there with you.
Oh yeah, I dispel Rocky.
Rocky just puts up his fist and is just ready to throw hands again.
Yeah, Rocky gets ready to fight, and then I look at him and I snap my fingers, and he does the Terminator thing as he crumbles back down into rock, leaving only the thumbs up.
Alright.
Let's boogie.
I'll follow all of you.
Ashiki's mouth opens and
Do we have
Empty Town plays.
Do we have a place to put this thing yet, or?
As far as you know, no, because originally you flew here on airship, so you'd probably have to be swimming the whole way back.
I could make it smaller.
Could it fit in the hold of our ship, though?
Not in the hold. This thing's pretty immense. Like, the token's deceiving because the size category, but at the same time, it is still a gargantuan creature.
Hmm.
The tendrils alone, starting from the base of it, reach out 20 feet.
Okay. Now, hear me out. How long is the trip? It was like a half day in the...
Yes, it was a half day.
How many hours would you say a half day is?
Especially considering how long it took you between, like, getting back up to the elevated space and all. Probably 11 and a half hours.
Fuck, that's way too many. Okay. I cannot cast polymorph on it for that long and turn it into a goldfish. I have 6 hours left worth of spell slots to polymorph something if it's willing.
How long would it take swimming for those of us with like the cloak of the manta ray?
Honestly, just about a day, because there's really not much between you and the city, and the city of Sycador keeps these waters pretty safe, aside from trade ships or other people trying to take advantage of the peace.
I can swim back with it if you guys want to get in contact with Paulgain and fly back in advance. Just a thought.
If you all want to regroup with me, then I'll stay here with Talos. I have the carpet which would let me keep up. That way, at least, Talos isn't alone.
I'm gonna go with Dallas.
Well, those of us who have the cloaks, we can all do the swim back.
Mhm.
But
Ashton and Ashiki need
Ashton
to
and
get back to the boat.
Ishiki and Dia may need to take the boat back and get to town ahead of us, and let them know that we're bringing back that we were successful and
we're bringing
bringing
back a
back
big
account.
kraken.
Ramus should probably go with them as well.
We're calling him Ishiki Jr.
All the shit that we've done in the world, is this the thing that tops us and puts us in, like, the local gossip? Crazy ass crew brought back a baby kraken.
Oh, we've been
Really?
in the.
You've been in the gossip
This is our
sector.
first.
Wait, we're splitting? Why are we splitting? Sorry, I was like...
The Kraken would slow us down, and rather than everyone slow down, it would be better to forewarn the people that we're bringing a baby Kraken, because will only arrive like 10 or so hours after you guys get there. So
crap's gonna happen when we split.
no, it'll be fine. Surely.
Nothing has
Yeah,
ever
okay.
happened ever.
Wait
Yeah.
a minute.
We have a
That's
baby
the
Kraken with
point.
us. It's
We're
fine.
not supposed to. We're not supposed
No,
to
it's fine.
party. They got a point.
It's all fine. It's fine, guys.
You're an instigator.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wait a second.
You're
How
a
long
goddamn
does
instigator.
how long does water breathing last? 24 hours?
24 hours.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I re-upped it just now.
And I have a couple of us have our cloaks, so...
Could Ashton and Ishiki hold on to the Kraken? Maybe we can all go together.
You want me to hold on to a Kraken for 10 hours?
Ride the Kraken.
I really think
Can't let go
the
either.
idea of us coming and warning them what we're bringing is a really good idea.
You want me to continue being in this water for 10 more hours?
I could cast creation and make like a saddle, like a little bitty mini saddle for you, like a chair.
Oh my, what can't you do?
Relate to
Get
other
laid!
people.
High five, Ashiki.
Oh, high five.
Oh man, if you guys were only there for that giant messed up magic battle,
Oh man.
we can do a lot.
2 miles
Wait.
of arcane fuckery permanently bound.
I gotta go back there and spend 3 months casting dispel magic over and over and over again.
No, we're just gonna not talk about that.
Yeah.
No, I
Fights the
have
2
guilt
mile
on my
wide
conscience.
fucking magical fuckery.
I have
What's
guilt.
else?
I have guilt.
It's gonna be like that old Simpsons episode when they go to Germany and they're talking, not even the Simpsons family, when they go to Germany and they're talking about the Holocaust, and I was like, everybody was on vacation.
Oh fuck.
We're just gonna not mention it.
I will go to Ramus and I'll say I do think it'd be better to go back on the ship and warn them. Additionally, if you give this, and I give him the shopping list that I was making, to me, he could get started on any research that
And I'll
would
have
be
a cloak
helpful.
of mana ray and wings, right?
Yes, which is why I think it'd be better if you go with the 2 people that don't. You're also very scary in case anything happens to them.
We need to let Paulgain know that we are all right. He had to take off before we resolved the battle.
And you can fly, so you can tell him to lower the ship down for the other 2.
Are we really gonna do this? Is everyone... I'm majority rule. Is everyone's... Yeah, then fuck it.
I vote yes.
I'm in.
I'm in.
Alright, screw it. Yeah, let's do it.
Dia naturally.
We agree, so it happens.
Okay.
Whoosh, magic.
Alright.
Yeah, I've got my rug already out. I was using it earlier.
And I address my Padawan, and I tell her to follow Rames's orders as if she were with me.
Alrighty, with that, you regain the ship of Polgain. Some go on in advance. Start heading towards Sycador as the young Kraken follows suit.
So did we figure out what we're doing about this thing in the ship, or? So, okay, so we're just going ahead and you guys are literally going to ride this thing to back?
Well, we're gonna swim alongside of it.
Yeah.
We'll swim back, and you guys get there a half a day before us, and at least just let them know that one, the situation has been taken care of, regardless of how it was resolved, and two, we're bringing back a potential defender for the city.
Yeah, this is going to go great.
Nothing bad has ever happened to the Kennedys.
Why do we do this to ourselves, guys? Like, we don't learn our lesson.
So it's me, Dia,
Ashton and
Ashton,
Ishiki.
and Shiki. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is going to be perfect. Nothing's going to go wrong.
It's good.
We're
idea.
literally
Hey, you
It's fine.
also have me. Don't forget.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
History
Me's
has
on the
told us
ship.
that this never,
This will go
whatever. Let's do it.
Alrighty. So, especially heading out in advance in the morning, Sycador. Getting back at the half day is no problem at all. Along the way, you do see that there are a few trade ships, but nothing really threatening the party or any situation at all. So you can see that quite a bit of the sea life quickly clears out when there's a massive kraken going by, or quickly hides amongst the coral. You do have to take one night to rest, as obviously being a full day out, unless you want to push through the night and take a point of exhaustion for those who are swimming.
Take the rest.
Or
I mean, we could just let the Kraken. I mean, the Kraken's probably rested. Could just sleep on the Kraken.
Like, is there a place for us to rest on the Kraken as it moves?
in the juvenile form of a kraken, unless it's holding you with its tentacles, and that's probably going to be fairly uncomfortable and not really able to sleep.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Then we
Wouldn't
hit
one of
a.
them be able to summon their own octopi to hold on to that and them? No.
Okay.
What I was gonna say is I could use creation to make like harnesses for us, but again, then we're just being pulled like fucking like jet ski style behind
Yeah.
a thing through the water, which is probably also not very restful. So I can cast Tiny Hut, and we can sleep, and me can re-up everybody's water breathing before they all return down. So we can be safe, if nothing else, under the water.
Works.
And everyone's sleeping inside the tiny hut, I assume?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry. Well, we will take watch. Just
Alright.
Oh yeah.
Who would be Well, obviously, sequence is order. First, second, third, fourth. Who's on what?
I'll go first.
I'll take second.
I'll take third.
Mr. Squid Child, could you just, fellas, would you ask him to keep an eye out when you go back to bed?
Absolutely.
Could you just make sure that, if you see anything crazy coming at us, just give us a tap on the dome. You can't hurt it, so just give it a little, and I mime slapping the dome.
He'll do a little fucking slap on top of the dome, just as a, cursory.
The ground inside shakes and shifts slightly.
Yeah, the whole thing just heaves. Like,
We go 2 inches deeper into the limestone.
There we go.
Jesus.
And just immediately here, like that?
Yeah, perfect. I almost pissed myself.
Literally just sees like the huge ass tendril and sucker slap against the top, like. Argh! All right. So, on first watch, go ahead and give me perception checks, please.
Nice.
Yeah.
Especially keeping watch as the waters grow dark over time. It's a little faster than expected, but you also get to see the bioluminescent coral that illuminates the reefs at night. Gives almost a beautiful look of as if the water was filled with fireworks between the various lights going back and forth in the reefs, with all the schools of fish just kind of darting back and forth. You can see that the kraken quickly grabs onto what looks like a larger school of fish, trying to just shovel a few more into its mouth as it's growing hungry. But it is
Does any of that look threatening? Is it like just calmness?
just calmness entirely stretching out. Like, you do just see the ripples of the water giving its almost eerie but serene look of the stars just kind of dancing over the top of the roof of the water.
So to like not destroy the entire ecosystem, what are we gonna feed this thing?
I mean, it's a part of the ecosystem already.
Not where we're taking it.
I assume it migrates. It'll eventually get bigger enough that it can roam pretty freely. I bet they could help sustain it with what it can't get from being closer to the city. I'm sure we can figure something out. We have clerics who can cast create food and water.
Hint, hint.
Wink, nudge, wink. I'm kicking your foot under the table.
Plus, if anything tries to attack the city, I mean, that's fair game, right?
That's true. But it's no fun scooping your food out of armor. It's like a clam.
Well, that's the most fun.
Ugh.
It's like sucking the marrow from a bone.
I just imagine trying to chew through plate mail would hurt your mouth.
Oh, very much so. Unless you're retardedly strong.
Hmm.
Alright. Well, with a very serene first watch, second watch, go ahead and roll me your perception. Obviously, Rain will be able to wake you up peacefully. Or choke you to wake you up. I don't know what she does.
Yeah, Rain, how do you... Modar is sleeping peacefully. He can't... He's leaning against the bubble because he can't leave it without it dissipating.
Are you like laying flat?
No, it's sitting up. He probably has his book closed in his lap where he nodded
Okay.
off.
Okay, I'm gonna use my heartbreaker and then just very lightly touch it to his shoulder and then shove him over to wake him up.
Oh! Good morning. Oh, was that necessary?
Yeah. Good morning. How you doing?
dust some of the silt off of my robe. I'm fine. Did I fall?
I'll help using the heartbreaker with like dusting off the sand off your pants. Just
Ow.
help you out right there.
Oh, I've got a bruise there. Careful.
You're okay, fragile
Ah.
ass. Come on. It's
I-
your watch.
Struggle up, pull the drift globe out, let it float to the top of the tiny hut.
Alright.
Look around. What's the Kraken doing? Still eating?
The Kraken looks like it's kind of carousing a small group of fish, so I can just kind of grab the bigger ones and start taking larger bites out of it. It's a little frightening because some of the fish are humongous.
The shark.
Yeah, like
It just grabs a shark and just starts eating it like a fucking corn a cob.
just
Cob of corn.
fucking bites into it, and you see it disappear into the multiple tendrils. See, like, occasionally, like, a little bit of flesh drift off, but it disappears very quickly.
I'm both horrified and interested. I will pull out one of my notebooks and do a little bit of sketching of the creature. Just like, never seen one of these in the wild before.
It is pretty fascinating to watch, especially in the juvenile state. It's still learning to fully hunt. You assume that the water elemental is probably helping it eat so it can grow bigger. And it's finally reached that point where it can start hunting on its own. So it's almost hypnotic to just kind of watch its body naturally and fluidly moving through all the water, and even the almost like fins that ripple over the back end of its spine that help it propel through the water faster, which
Ooh.
is almost eerie, but more fascinating to watch, as you would usually see fish or other things propel, and it almost just looks like it's using its more cone-shaped head to propel it forcefully like a turbine. But that, especially with the fascinating lights, seems like the Kraken is keeping most other company away quite thoroughly.
Okay. I do my sketching. I review a couple things in my book. I'm going to change some of my prepared spells. And that's it. When my watch ends, I'll go. How do I find Thalos?
Cross-legged and meditating up against one of the walls of the hut.
Probably the way I wake you is as I'm bringing the drift globe down, I'll have it like flash particularly bright. Maybe just see if it the light wakes you. Like
Yeah.
You see a flash of light through your eyelids, and then it goes out.
Alice will, open his eyes and stand. Anything of note?
Our friend seems to be acting as a deterrent of some sort. Nothing to note. I am glad I am not a shark.
I'm also glad that you are not a shark.
Oh, thanks, man.
Alright, I'll go ahead and watch.
Alright. Roll me a perception.
11.
Alrighty.
Are we like out of water?
Yes, the inside of the dome is free of water.
Wonderful. Is our clothes like all soaking wet and our weapons all drenched?
I would have definitely dried myself with prestidigitation. I don't know if you guys would have asked me to do the same for you.
I think you'd find Rain in the corner, like taking parts of her armor pieces off and just dripping it and twisting it to squeeze out. Very stubbornly.
Really strong if you can wring out your armor.
No, not just the armor. I mean, like
the
to pour out
leathers.
water. Yeah, like the leathers and things like that.
In my
Enemy
you're strong
fam.
enough to twist your armor.
I'm okay with that, 100%.
We just hear the screeching of metal. Rain is wringing out fucking
from the corner.
magical plate mail, and because it's
Yeah.
magic, it's not actually damaging it.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's have those gauntlets.
That's terrifying.
Super sponge.
You ever see one of those cups that's like, it's the kind of plastic that's like squishy, so you can like crush it and drop it and throw it and it's fine? It's like that, except metal armor.
Yeah.
A pool
Nate
safe
has some
lab.
weird cups.
Hey man.
Alright. So, fellas. On your watch, everything is, very serene outside the bowl, relaxed, and especially with the starlight roof and the moon kind of rippling, giving a beautiful visual effect as the tides just coast over the roof. You suddenly hear what sounds like the pop of a bone. As you look over, you can see what looks like Rammus's arm has extended. As you look down and see that for a brief moment his arm is extended, but also now Rain.
Yes.
Whose arm? I didn't catch that part. I'm sorry.
Your arm, Rammus.
Oh, okay. Which arm? The shadow arm?
Mm-hmm. Roll me a wisdom saving throw as Thalos, you see this arm acting almost as if it on its own grab onto her and start feeding shadow into her body.
Wait, Rammus is on the
What the
ship.
fuck, man?
Yeah, I'm on the ship.
Oh, you're on the ship?
It's just Rain,
Yeah.
Thalos, and I.
Oh, alright then. This is gonna get interesting.
Yeah, that's probably happening to Ashiki or Ashton.
Hold on.
Shiki
I'm
Ashton could probably actually near this. Hold up. I need to
Uh-oh.
Thanks.
From the we cut away from the undersea adventures.
undersea
And,
Like,
uh-oh.
Alice just detects a disturbance in the force.
Uh-oh. You
They're
have
in
a
the middle.
nightmare.
Real
So-
shit.
Oh wait, hold on.
The telepathic group chat is blowing up.
Deadass.
Oh, Nira. Oh, Nira.
No.
I give Nira my once precision
Oh.
inspiration.
Are you sure?
I don't. Do we have those? I thought we didn't have those this game.
Well, actually, yeah, no. Unfortunately, I haven't added those. So, who would like to roll the D100?
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Ramish, yeah.
Oh,
Hold
Rammus
on,
should.
I
Rammus
have-
should do it.
Would. Oh no, it's not charm, right?
It's not charm.
Can I roll again since we're on the ship?
Currently, you would be asleep on the ship for where you are, Rammus. Unless you would be taking watch on the ship.
Hold on, I'm looking around to see. Oh, haha! Rod of alertness.
All right.
While holding the rod, you have advantage on wisdom checks and on rolls for initiative. Haha.
So would you be holding it in your sleep?
I mean, it's on me, no?
It is on you. It is on you. Though you would wake up to this, because asleep is one thing. You definitely wouldn't be wildly surprised, but at the same time, it's kind of like a possession of your own body without your knowledge. Not the entirety of you. But following suit with this, there's a large amount of chaos being caused down in the lower hold where Nira and Rammus are. Diash and Kuno passing down to the bottom of the hole sees the shadow retracting from Nira's body. At that point, as she falls down to her knees next to the bed, as you're trying to figure out what's going on in this sudden moment quickly happening all before your eyes, as nothing could really be ceased at this very time. She grabs onto her ribs, and then you see her back lurch. At that point, you see basically these two large lumps start to form on the back of her ribs, extending out further until you hear almost a very sickening, screeching scream, as well as skin just tearing away, opening up before resealing over. At the base of what you see is a pair of almost leathery, dragon-like wings extend out from her back.
Did I give her wings too?
You just gave her wings.
Red Bull.
Nero with wings? That's gonna be scary as hell.
She has now a 30-foot fly speed as she kind of tries to take all this in, and especially between like the mass panic, 8-foot tall creature wingspan, much of the cabin's being knocked over. She accidentally slaps you with these new, still kind of gross blood-covered wings, and you know, back is still like mending over, but this strange mutation seems to have now benefited her, and you remember distinctly that this is something that the Sybarex had offered.
Oh, and I gave it to her?
It seems
He's
to
just being a jerk, huh?
It seems to have reached out and given it to her.
He's just being a jerk.
That was my power.
I mean, I guess I already have wings, so it wouldn't give me wings again. But like, talk about consent, you know?
But it seems like you're not very sure that this part of your arm had reached out and purposely been a conduit for him to mutate someone near you.
Okay.
At that point, here is just a little panicked, but like trying to get a full view of herself, so quickly runs out to the more open space of the deck. And what the fuck just happened to me?
Me is he all but has a magnifying glass out. Copious notes.
Selfishly, Ashiki, because of her whole thing with wings, she's like, fuck this bitch.
Are you pouting?
Maybe.
I wanted wings.
Maybe.
When's it gonna be my turn?
When can I fly? God damn it!
Always the flightless, never the flyer.
Oh,
This is Ashiki's turn.
so yeah, everyone in the ship gets to witness Nero with wings now. Pardon?
What kind of draconic wings are they?
Roll me oh, there's so many. Roll me a D10.
Me?
Me.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
Rex.
should be Remy.
Yo, girl, you mutated. Alrighty.
Did you include albino ruby dragons in this?
I did not, because gem dragons are a whole nother case of stuff their own. Alrighty. She would be imbued with blue wings. A blue dragon.
Anything special or just blue wings?
Just blue scaled wings, which ironically match fairly well with Nira's Goliath skin. Especially the various tattoos that she has.
I'm assuming this woke me up when she slapped the hell out of me with these things.
Yeah, pretty much. The whole thing between the scream, the horrible tearing sounds, and then kind of disheveling the entire cabin and slapping you with blood-soaked wings for a moment. But you definitely feel almost like a sniggering laugh from the arm.
I'm assuming she's more preoccupied than listening to me.
Yes.
Stop it before I cut you off.
Just giving my gifts to those nearby.
I'll do this with one arm if I have to. If we're in this, if we're gonna be in this together, then there needs to be boundaries, and that's definitely one of them.
Very well. I'll be sure to offer it more respectfully.
This dude's a dick.
He's running around mutating your girl.
I mean, now we have a berserker with wings.
Surely nothing bad could ever come of this.
Nothing bad ever happened.
Yeah.
Nothing bad ever happens to the
Berserker
Kennedys.
with wings. I'm just saying.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah?
How bad could that have gone?
Would you like to roll another and find out?
No, I just want you to tell me like real bad or like moderately bad.
That's probably one of the best you can get.
Oh, good. That's horrific.
I do have an expanded list of 100.
Where did you find that art, Gordon?
I drew it.
Oh, this is yours. I'm sorry. I thought you. What's up, art? I'm sorry. I misread that. It's cool as
Do
fuck.
I get to see the list, or?
Unfortunately not. You could if you keep, expanding more people's abilities.
No, we said consent and boundaries.
We love that.
Consensual mutation. But, not even thinking about it, Nero still kind of looks to you confused, Ramus, and just goes to hug on to you for comfort.
I'm a little confused too, and I comfort her with the other arm, not the shadowy one.
Alright.
Don't you dare. To the arm. They could probably hear me. I could probably talk to this thing without talking out loud, can't I?
100%.
Probably tear the wings off.
Oh,
Are you silently talking shit to it?
Wait. Who of all the other people on the boat, Ashton? Who is that to?
Himself.
He just says it to. Are you standing near anybody that might overhear it?
Alright, gonna be frank with you guys. Ashton's just a guy. So, this woman sprouted these drake wings. Everyone's kind of casual about it, or at least more casual than he would expect it to be. And so his like
Right,
coping is
curious
just
instead
like,
of freaking out.
yeah, his coping is like I want to tear off those wings and return things to normal.
Yeah, he hasn't seen a lot of the weird stuff.
Maybe they could be removable. We could create some sort of magical item out of them. That would be interesting.
Oh.
We're not gonna do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
No,
You
no,
try to take it.
Angela, relax. We're not gonna do any crazy science things to her.
Why not?
Oh.
No crazy science things. She's probably already freaking out.
Well, but wouldn't having
Yeah,
answers
we're
just to...
not gonna do that.
Oh, okay.
Me is confused and is unable to learn why science is bad.
Paul Gaines is kind of staring fucking dumbfounded from the helm, like, what the fuck is going on?
You should be used to it by now.
I think I need to tell Thalos about this.
Hmm.
I could probably send a message down to Modar,
You
and
should.
okay.
We're gonna see him in a couple of days. Oh, in half a day.
Mm-hmm. A little less than half a day.
And you'd rather there just be a delightful little surprise for them, is that it? Me, if you would be so kind, please send Modar and crew a message.
I'll do. I go and find some copper wire, twist it around my finger, and say,
Alright, I have 25 words. What do you want me to say to them?
Woman,
25.
I love that it's like
140 characters.
telephone. No, it's like a telephone. 25 cents to talk.
Not to be too rude, ma'am, but can I have your name? I don't think I've caught it.
Nira.
Tell them that Nira has sprouted wings.
Blue dragon wings.
Tap 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 tap.
yeah.
Full stop.
Nira has sprouted blue dragon wings. Stop. Party concerned. Stop. Ashton suggests removing wings via force. Ramus disagrees. Stop.
Stop.
And the best part of this is that Modar currently doesn't have sending prepared, so I can't reply until the morning, because Me's spells don't change. But I will pass that information out, so I wake up from sleep, and I go, oh god!
The Rames's magic is spreading. They have their wings on Nira now. Blue dragon wings.
Blue dragon.
You can answer immediately, though.
Oh, you can just say
Yeah.
back. I
say, what do we want to tell them? Is there anything we should prepare for? Oh man, I really want to ask about the... Me probably has already collected quite a bit of data.
Like the ultimate fantasy.
mm-hmm.
Do we actually get the message?
Yeah, I wake everybody up and tell them this is important enough
this
that
is
I
like
would wake
right
you guys up.
after like Talos like ends his watch. He's like, it's weird. I got this strange feeling. I'm sure it was nothing. Everything's fine.
You're in the
Nir's
middle of
got
falling back
things.
asleep. I sit bolt up wake. Nir's mutating.
Oh god, everything's coming apart.
I knew
I'm
it.
just so freaked out by that.
I'm just saying, I call that a benefit. You guys don't know it, but he offered me a lot of good, well, good with an asterisk,
Sounding.
good skills and powers. And now he's just being a dick since I refused them. He's trying to like make me jealous almost.
For brevity, I'll say I send back a message telling them to keep an especially close eye on Nira for me to collect all possible information that he can, without,
Make sure she's all right.
and make sure she's all right. Yeah, but do the information thing first.
Yeah, she's fine. Just my demon in the stone trying to make me jealous and give it more powers, giving everybody else the cool powers.
Okay.
What? How's that cool?
Sounds like we should be on our way.
She has wings.
I think we need to finish our rest, but yes, we should not tarry in the morning. The others will be arriving in a few hours, and we should be there around midday after them.
All right.
Right? That's right.
100% accurate.
All right, then. As soon as we can, as soon as like our rest is done, we take off.
We go.
We'll still be a couple hours away. Well, half a day away.
I would like to spend this half day discussing with Thalos and Rain the best contingencies they think, what things that they would like me to set up to take effect if the progression of the sword continues to happen. The ideas that Modar has are already, he's going to do Magic Circle, Hold Monster, and Wall of Force, because those are all 5th level or below spells that can take effect on a contingency.
And I'm not going back to bed. It's time for us to meditate and have a stern conversation about boundaries.
Well, to Modar, Thalos will definitely suggest that we make sure there's something in the works for incapacitation if need be, or some way to force the blade from his hand. It's not. The big thing to remember is it's not Ramus that's generating it. It's his connection to the sword. So.
Yeah, I mean, suggestion to drop it.
It's not in my hands 24/7. It's like bonded,
Yeah.
Right.
But normally speaking, you get the temptation, or it's like you kind of go dark after trying to drink a soul with it. So that's usually when it's full on. So that's what I'm thinking. Like, if there's a way to like submit the suggestion to like drop the sword, or somehow
I could absolutely prepare. I would say probably throw the sword.
Yeah.
Because that also goes beyond, like, if he doesn't have it immediately in his hands, he can grab it from his back and throw it.
Is this bonding considered like a charm result?
No.
No, it's just a effect of awakening the weapon in the runestone.
So one thing that I could do is I could prepare Sword of Fate, which... oops. That's the thing. What this does is it's similar to Suggestion or something, but it forces the creature to do so through threat of harm. So, if Ramus is not in control, it's possible that whatever it is will still value him and his life if it's controlling him. It would not attack us, because that's one of the things I could set it to activate on. But there's no guarantee that it values Ramus. But on that token, if it doesn't value Ramus, then it doesn't value life, period. And our probably best option is to kill it, which this will help us do.
I mean, I guess you don't know it in game, but you can't really kill
No, yeah. This is Modar speculating and just going through with Ramus and Thalos while we were traveling. Because I like, me player and me Modar are just worried about everything. So all kinds of stuff. Like I'm thinking about re-preparing immolation.
Mm.
Also attempt to do something with Gaius. Gaius? How do you pronounce that word?
Geese.
Gaius?
Mm-hmm. At least that's how I've always heard it.
Hmm. This is another one that could, like, I don't know, don't drink any more spells on, or any more souls on Rammus.
No more Kool-Aid for you.
Hmm.
So,
So these are all the things that I'm discussing with them.
I would have probably explained to them that the little fry don't matter. That, like, cannon fodder is just... It's like eating french fries, you know?
alright. So, with those contingencies being planned out, Rammus,
What?
dipping back into the stone again, as you are going to have a conversation, I assume?
Yeah. And spend some time wondering what's up with the arm.
Alright.
Can I, as a blood hunter and someone who regularly deals with stuff like this, can I prepare some sort of, I don't know, like, rune talisman to, like, wrap my arm to keep it bound, or would I need maybe me to help me with that? But I want to find out what's the deal with the arm first.
I would say you could definitely seek assistance if things seem to go awry to try and wake you from it. But there are definitely those who are able to help you.
I just find it hard to believe that if this sword has been in the passed down from blood hunter to blood hunter, you know, like, that somebody didn't think of that, and that I wouldn't know at least a little bit about this thing and that sort of contingency.
The contingency is definitely there, but you definitely need someone to kind of violently jab you to get you to wake up from it.
Well, what's his name? Halfdan? The one with the silver, the wizard with the silver runestone and weapon?
Ah, yes.
Probably go see at some
Vethel.
point.
You would assume very easily that he has a large knowledge of that, especially from the familiarity he has had with the Black Runestone aforementioned.
But yeah, after we talk about boundaries and I figure out what's up with the arm, I'm wrapping this thing in, like, in just, like, wards and all that.
Mm-hmm. So, entering in the runestone as you meditate, Cyprirex is more than happy to welcome you. Glorious look of this boy.
Ugh.
What the fuck? Yikes.
Keep your vile, and apparently now my vile hands off of my partners, and I'm giving you, essentially giving you what you want for power from me. It's not up to you to extend or mess with anybody else.
I extended an invitation to power and be able to keep up with their loved one. The wings were a good assistance. An improvement.
She's done more than keep up already.
If that is what you seek, very well. Though, if others do want such improvements, I would not deny them.
You're making a good case for them to take my head.
It is not my fault they don't trust you.
And they're not going to pick the sword up, so then you're just kind of back to where you were before.
At that, the Cyberx kind of narrows its eyes at you a little bit. Very well. I see your point.
If we're going to do this, I've already accepted my fate. It seems I can't really get rid of you. So then, we're going to try this new thing called teamwork.
And the whole bus stood up and clapped.
Slow clap.
You've already got the rest of us. Or the rest of... Is it... I'm assuming the sword's been passed down to specific blood hunters?
Over the years, yes. As obviously with the experience in, well, obviously library keeping as well as studying has been guarded very carefully, but your order has also been previously labeled or mislabeled as monsters occasionally, and some have pushed the boundaries of lycanthropy and mutation beyond its average and normal limits.
Of course, yeah. Great, insert Spider-Man speech.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do this a little bit different. I know everybody up to this point has just wanted power and nothing more, but we're a little smarter than that, and if you want to stay, then it's in your best to not be an ass. As much as they trust me, you're making it a little harder and harder, and if my head comes off, then there's nowhere for you to go, but probably locked up.
Yeah. I shall extend the invitation of blessings out to all of them, but I will be more respectful moving forward.
Consent, boundaries, choice. Oh, I'm assuming the other runestones have their own guardians, so I'm assuming he wouldn't want to step on those toes.
Possibly.
Yeah, so I guess I kind of say that. I'm like, some of them have their own. I don't let them know that some of them are fresh with it, but I let this thing know that he'd have to contend with other guardians in runestones. So it's probably, I don't know if he wants to do that and make his life and our collective life even harder.
Mm. If they're communicating with their guardians, then I suppose I should retract some offers.
I don't know if you, I doubt you guys are friends.
None have taken my improvements lightly.
Alright, so let's try to keep it in the proverbial pants, so to speak, for now. Can I ask it? Can it tell me about the arm, or if I got anything like that?
Well, especially.
Or is he that big of a dick? And he's like, find out later. Hee hee hee.
As far as you can tell, especially for what he's demonstrated, that he can reach through your arm using it without your consent. But at the other point of that is his blessings that you assume would be only if you're connected with a sword or able to go within the ward here to receive such blessings or extensions of power would be specific to that. It seems almost like he has purposely mutated your body to be partially a gateway.
Oh, okay. So I gotta lock this thing up. It's in my best interest to lock this thing up the best I can.
Yeah. You know, anyone else who touches the arm possibly could talk to this man directly.
Okay, so the arm isn't really like a gift. It's more like a doorway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You can tell he was pretty much trying to turn you into, like, not really a fountain, but more like a spigot to where he can leak out slowly and start just corrupting shit.
So I don't get anything good, though?
Not yet. So, after that conversation, go ahead and roll me a wisdom saving throw, Ramus. Alright, with that, you are able to push your weight out of the ward. He's not able to hold you there as you take leave. You can hear quite a disgruntled Sybarex as he watches you still able to leave fully from this location.
As I'm leaving. God, he's an asshole. Or, well, I'm not really a religious person, so that is just, he's an asshole.
At the same point of that, do realize that if this is connected with the ward, there might be some use of this. So definitely take a little bit of practice on what you use to call.
Can I, like, temporarily give boosts?
Would you like to attempt trying that? Controlling the Sybarex's power?
I don't want to do it on one of us and in, like, a enclosed space, but at some point I think, yeah, trying to figure out if I can, like, temporarily grant gifts would be a cool idea.
Alright. Let me know when you wish to attempt granting a gift to someone. Temporarily, of course.
Yeah. We're on to you by this point.
Alright. So with
Yeah, I talked to that jerk. We're done.
So with that, obviously, the rest of the night between the chaos and some that are asleep, possibly not asleep, others that are lost in question, obviously much.
I sort of fill them in. I leave certain things out about the blood hunters in there, and Sybarex still eventually me ending up in there and all this stuff that I left out before, but I kind of explained that I had the conversation about consent and and boundaries, and that it doesn't really want to mess with anybody who actually has a runestone for the sake of like it would have to contend with all the other guardians, and it's not about that life, and that it kind of fears my death a little bit for the fact that you guys know this thing's no good. No one's gonna give it power if I'm dead, so it's gotta like be easy. And I talked to me about considering sealing this arm up to a point.
Yeah, me is also considering the if you want it removed, what would happen if we tried to fully just take it off your body and regenerate it?
Then you take the tap off of the pipe.
Hmm. Interesting. He's got lots of notes. He's writing all this down because again, he can't learn this information from you, but he is taking it and making notes for Modar to
Yeah, for
review.
Modar. And I'm trying to seal it up but still have some access. Just like make it a one-way door a little bit.
I think most of his questions are about your methodology for attempting to close it, to turn that valve, what that is like, whether it's a mental effort, if there are spells that we could use to reinforce the lock once it's closed, or at least stop it from further opening, or things like that, or just strengthen your mind in general.
Runes and wards to keep it like in check, and I guess mental blocks.
You've got
Regardless,
that
I have
staff,
to.
right?
Yeah, the rod of alertness. I have to stay in contact with it for
You
the
should-
power. But
We should tape that to your back.
It's on me at all times.
Um,
It's like hooked to my belt.
what other magic items besides the Tome of Wisdom increase your wisdom stat?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Is next level up a stat increase or something like that?
14 should be,
Yeah.
or at least
I'm
Blood
gonna throw
Hunter.
some. Yeah, I'm gonna throw some into wisdom.
All right, so we need to grind for levels.
What is level?
What is level?
Our next level is 14. Oh yeah, we're like 8,000 away, less than 8,000 away. Like the next big thing we deal with.
One of the later levels. I don't know which level it is. I get advantage on all wisdom saving throws, so can't wait.
Oh, so then you could throw the stick away.
Yeah.
Fun.
Good times. Good times.
Good stuff. Josh, how many bags of rats do I need to purchase for each of us to get 8,000 XP?
10,000 bags.
Swarm of rats. What's the experience?
So, with that, especially all the situation laid out before, finally all arrive back at Sycador.
I'm assuming I told me this too, so you would eventually be able to relay that. No, or would I have to?
Yeah. He relays everything to Modar and
So if
probably
you guys have
Talon.
runestones, you don't have to worry about anything.
But if we don't,
I also let them know that I told him that I kind of bluffed him a little bit that you guys are ready to kill me in a second, which is probably not super far, but that you guys would have orders to just seal it up, throw away the key.
yeah, that taking you over, regardless of whether it works or not, is not good for them in the long run.
Yeah. So either a little bit of power, quid pro quo, or nothing.
Um,
And
I
it didn't
it
really like nothing.
it goes without saying. But please don't give any of those powers to Ku. Beyond the fact that I think it'd be a bad idea. The magical bond that he has to your compatriot, who's in my home, we have no idea how that could be affected by such a power, or if that kind of transportation magic would be able to possibly free such a. It would be a very
Does-
bad idea.
Does Modar know what we know about Ku's head?
No. Well,
Yeah.
yes, actually, because I was putting on trial the true coup, or attempting to,
Right. Yeah.
and it wasn't working very well.
It probably doesn't really want much to do with Ku.
Hmm.
He's already got a full house.
Well, good. Let's keep it that way.
This thing doesn't really like competition, it seems.
How much is a sack of rats? I just need to buy 154 for each of us.
Well, sadly, you're underwater. There's no rats.
Ah, fuck. How many bags
Shrimp.
of... I was gonna say seahorses.
You monster, you would kill seahorses.
Okay, fine. How much XP is a crab worth?
Okay. We'll talk about bag of crabs later. So, especially upon the reprisal of the possibly new guardian, I assume everything was a great success then, though it seems some have changed. Kind of looks at Rama's direction. So you can see that quite a few of the guards are still kind of watching the young Kraken, but trying to.
Oh, do these guys know any magic?
They have the blue runestone.
True.
So they... Oh, we should have fucking disguised your arm. This is gonna make
No,
them
I
not want to
want
give us
them
the
to-
rock.
I want to see if they can help seal this thing up. They probably know a little something.
I would just kind of ignore their comment about Ramus and just say that the waters have been calmed. You have nothing further to fear from that. Your civilization should be safe from that particular evil. And we have made a new friend who may be of use to you.
I am sure the Guardian would be appeased at the fact that there is such a strong youth now that would be able to help protect us.
Yes, he's quite a hungry boy, and make sure you give him good walkies, and at least 3 sharks for enrichment, because they try and fight back.
Now, we'll happily lead you to the home of Nadis. Obviously, since you've sent back the Great Lord, I'm sure he would be more than happy to come to an agreement of allowing you the Blue Runestone, as well as the treasury he guards over.
We are honored by your trust and faith. You will not be disappointed. Which way was it?
So they start leading you towards the Merit's home.
Ooh.
At this point, you do see quite a few storm giants and other denizens look fairly surprised that you are being led to a more inner sanctum. And deeper within one of the storm giant homes, you can see it looks like quite a few of the guards, or at least what appear to be storm giant guards, are watching over the main entrance here that leads into a lower chamber that looks like it's been buried for some time, purposely to prevent, well, other storm giants getting cheeky ideas of stealing the stone for themselves. Move this over.
Change map. Change map.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, upon entry into this chamber, you do see what looks like a very exotic... Oh, hold on. Let me do... I've imprisoned Ashton for all life in darkness.
Oh yeah, no dark vision or light for you, huh?
Daylight mode is on.
Does Ashton's token have vision?
Yeah, I think it might not have vision. Give me a moment. Yep, his vision was not turned on. Alright. Can everyone see?
Yes, but it doesn't look good.
So, as they lead you into this grand entrance, you can see what looks like a previous storm giant statue that has been toppled, and much of the coral reef and other sea life had overtaken this old audience chamber. You see before you what looks like, as far as you can tell, seahorse merfolk people is a very strange sight. They don't look natural to this plane of existence, something very much out of the elemental plane of water, along with more exotic pets that obviously keep the way and guard of... go ahead and roll me a nature. See if you can recognize what these are.
Seriously, Druid?
Assist?
Sister.
Or should we? Or should I? Or are we just all roll? Oh, my bad.
The druid
is
and the
terrible.
dude who fights monsters know nothing.
Alrighty. There.
Oop, that was Modar, but
So, well, Ashton, Ashiki, and me, either through study from serving the royal court, or even through lore that you've heard from Sikador, these are more exotic water scorpions, something impertinent to the plane of water itself. Fairly strong, durable, and usually loyal if well properly trained. It seems that Nadis has purposely kept these at the front gate to really deter anyone. You also know full well that, especially following Water Scorpion, that it would be some form of detriment to your body, but especially for Ashiki's 20, you'd heard rumors that the Scorpion's greatest and most menacing capability comes from their proboscis, which is able to basically inject straight into people's muscles and start slurping them out, draining them of their strength alone and killing them from that.
This is disgusting.
Yeah, Ishiki actually performed for like an underwater a group of underwater nobles, and they had these kind of scorpion things with them.
badass.
These are horrible and disgusting. Josh, can I turn into one?
Yes, you can, because it is a natural beast.
Woohoo!
Terrifying. Please do not tell us. Hey,
No.
as a friend, buddy.
It is a CR4 creature.
Oh,
shit
no,
and
can't do
piss.
it.
They should make the CR thing scale. You're level 13. You should be able to turn it into a CR4 thing.
But they are truly menacing. With that, the king and queen seem fairly calm. Please, follow this way. And with that, they will start leading you towards Nodus's audience chamber.
Would assume after being underwater for so long, their skin would wrinkle, but they are abnormally attractive.
No lie, that got me pretty fucking bad with the flying part. So,
Keep a respectful distance.
as they start leading you down this chamber hall, please do not be unnerved. It is harmless so long as we are with you.
I go, everybody, keep close.
As they lead you down this main hall here that has been carved out from the various runes that have been buried long ago, you see one particularly large sapphire inset to the silt of the floor. And you can see the entire wall and silt and floor electrically charged. You can see crackling lightning pulsating down the hall. If they were not here, it seems almost if the enchantment had been purposed to not harm them in particular, and any audience along with them.
Are we supposed to be seeing anything right now?
Yeah.
Oh, hold
Yeah,
on.
sure, everybody could see.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Sorry.
Bam.
Now I can see.
Hell yeah. We're over here.
Along with the electrified hall. They happily lead you down the hall, await for you, so that nobody gets electrocuted from the trap that is constantly going.
Rain, you with us?
She's been possessed by the woodcarvers. Let's go. Sorry, I'll drag them over.
Rainy, you're muted if you're talking.
Oh, I knew that.
Oh, good.
My bad.
Obviously, leading you through these various halls, you can see what looks like mosaics and various depictions have been set into the wall, and almost unnatural flowing amounts of water that feel like they would push you away if it was not for the fact as well that the king and queen are here with you. You can tell that the level of paranoia that Nodus has of protecting this item has obviously escalated over some time, and even though they are here, anyone else would probably be met with immediate hostility.
I've got a let's call it an architect's eye for the magical defenses that they have. Motor's impressed.
So, upon entering here, they take one step onto a higher pedestal, but also gesture in the other direction to enter into the audience chamber. Before you, you see what seems to be a collection of elemental soldiers, ones that have obviously been here to keep protection of them. The main body has been coated with what seems almost like a metallic coral, various weapons that they keep at their side, tridents, as well as at a full salute and keeping in proper stance and respect. As you see behind them, the very large Murad Nodis, the guardian who watches over the runestone as well as its weapon. As he takes note of your group, kind of sizing you up, waves one large gangly green claw towards you to beckon you forth.
I would like to make eye contact with Ashiki and be like, hey, I'm gonna need your help.
Mentally to Modar, how should we address this dude?
Respectfully, is there a specific term that I would know of because I'm familiar with the culture, or is it just, you know, with the utmost respect because this is somebody who has been charged with, like, I would say treat him the same way you would treat the holder of the silver runestone is the way I would describe it to Thalos.
Okay.
If not more so because of the specific rigid formality of the culture.
They're really uppity, be very polite, more than even I was when I first met you all.
I think you cast spells at us the first time you met us, but okay.
It's hard to say what happened the first time we met. I will bow deeply as an opener, and make the symbol of fealty with my hand, like twisting my hand against my chest.
Greetings. We are, the Dead Ass Rangers. I believe you have been informed that we wished an audience with your greatness.
You're
Once again, loud fanfare.
Ashton is like, Jesus Christ.
Greetings, sagacious one. We seek your counsel and your aid.
Say in your head, that's good. That was really good.
I see that formalities are not lost on land dwellers. It is nice to welcome such an exotic group of people into my home, one that has aided Sikador thoroughly. As to the situation, I had taken note that, unfortunately, the Guardian does not seem to have returned to the plane of water.
No, that's fine.
Thalos leaves the room to get full cover.
Might I be informed as to why that is? I do not sense him here, and he is not back home.
Alright. We need a good excuse.
I
told you
Well-
this was on you. You need to explain it.
can attempt to legal language say something that is completely true,
Go for
which
it.
is what Modar is opening his mouth to say something. So it's up to you, Ramus, if you want to speak first.
No, go ahead.
Our attempt to return the Guardian to their original state was unsuccessful. The danger that the Guardian posed to us and those near us, those in the ship that we arrived on, was too great, as well as the destruction that it has already wrought on the surrounding area. It was deemed more important to save future lives than to protect this creature. And one of our party slew the former Guardian. It was unfortunately necessary.
Roll me a deception.
And regrettable.
Those are true. Those are true things. We were unsuccessful. Modar thinks it's regrettable. He slew the thing.
But you were originally sent to kill it.
Yes, we were.
Right. So the attempt to talk to it when we tried in Primordial failed. I didn't say that that's what we were sent to do. I said there was an attempt because we tried. This is what I said. Very legal language. I was trying to be very specific.
Roll
I'm
me a
willing to defend
persuasion, then.
anything. Can I have advantage because I asked Ashiki for help earlier?
I would say yes, because like Ashiki's probably like
This
in
is
your
what
head
he
talking
does.
you along, I assume.
This is what he does for a living. He's a bureaucrat. He's good at this.
I
Well,
have
my
the
client-
background feat.
Well, my client certainly did take that man's life. It certainly was not murder,
Self-defense.
more than likely.
Okay. Persuasion at advantage. That's a 21.
God damn.
I put points into con for this reason. Or to charisma. Wrong stat. Fuck.
I guess it might have been more far gone than we had hoped. As to your desire, the items you wish to have from this court.
I would clarify with your grace that we do not desire this burden, but the task has fallen to us. It is not something that we take upon ourselves lightly. I would not be here if my life had not turned upside down, and I would not stay to defend this place if this was not important.
If you have not experienced attacks from the surface above yet, you will soon enough. Someone else will come here looking for the same which we seek. We do not wish to take it from you, but we do
War's
request
been-
it.
But
Oh.
war's been waged because of these things and for the purpose of coming to get these things.
We are here to ask. Others will come to take.
Help us to fight this war. We will return the item to you afterwards. But it is necessary if we are to defeat those that seek this item for themselves. And I fear you know precisely who we speak of. Wise Natus.
He's rubbing his chin deep in thought. Go ahead and roll me another persuasion there. Obviously an advantage.
Me or Talos?
You high roller.
Yeah, either or.
Oh god.
You're both talking up a good game here.
I'll do it again. Here,
I always
got
talk
it.
a good game, but my rolls are terrible.
Oh!
Yes.
Yeah. You can see he's nodding along very heavily to this, you know, seeing it from the angle that you're coming from, and he knows. It's very obvious on his face, he knows full well the creatures and the people that have been coming for these things for years. Probably even defended this place from a few.
We don't fit that bill.
Also bonus points because Modar.
Fuck yes. I'm so glad that it finally came in. I'm just a junior partner. Oh my god. You guys are all at least associates.
Junior partner is still pretty good though.
Junior partner gets
Most of us
decent
are just the
pay.
clerks.
God damn.
No, you guys are better than clerks. Come on. You know, you need the big, tough, scary looking lawyer to be there. He's just as important as the one who's got his nose deep in the papers.
I've seen the immense concern for these items. I do believe that this is not something you want to just wield woefully. So, I would need something to continue the protection and the wards to call upon here.
We had considered this. Of course, there is nothing that we could offer you that is of the level of magic we're asking from you. Otherwise, we would be there using that power to fight this fight. However, I forget who had the shield, but I look at whoever has the shield as I pull out.
No, Talos will present the shield of the Sentinel.
And I pull out
Sentinel shield.
my bracers of defense that are extra as well.
In the
These-
interim, so go ahead. Sorry.
No, please.
In the interim, we offer you these items to hopefully power the defense that this runestone has given you for a short time until we can return it to you. I present the shield and Odor with its bracers.
And since I have not had any benefit of these things because I'm not wearing light armor, I give him my boots of elven kind.
I would definitely be able to make use of these and supplicate the rest with my own strength. It would be foolish to not presume that you would require both of the items to make true use of them in your endeavors.
You see that those before you wield the stones and the weapons.
That
Again,
I do.
This is not a weight we ask for lightly.
Once again, kind of concerned eyes falling a little bit on Rammus's arm there. I would imagine, especially for some of the, well, cursory glances amongst the rest of you, that you've been communing with the wards and the guardians within.
Not because we wanted to.
I am desperately trying not to look at Remus.
Again,
I have communed with mine. I looked deep into it before I took ownership of it. I saw the spirits within, and I had the opportunity to meet the Archon, a being that wielded the weapon that goes with it, before it was handed to me. I've seen nothing but good in these men. Well, I've seen nothing but good in that man. And while there are other personalities within the gem, I feel attuned to it. And I believe the items in question that are in your possession would do, and I sort of indicate to Modar, with a level-headed, practical approach.
I would nod and add that my study, my entire life, has been abjuration magic. I only ever sought to use it to protect myself and those around me as a part of my work. But I see now how much more use this magic is in the world. I would not misuse it. You have my word. Such that.
Only one more persuasion.
Oh.
I would agree on this with full trust. If you would be the one to shake my hand on this deal. As he points towards Rammus.
Wait, me?
Oh shit!
Oh no.
And I really quickly
Use your
roll it.
left.
Can I really quickly roll an Arcana
I'm,
to see?
I'm
what
not
I-
the one who's going to be holding that brimstone. I'm a little preoccupied at the moment, so
I
I don't know why
understand.
you would want it from me.
Satiate a curiosity of mine.
Do you think I got through to the creature in here?
You feel like you've held it pretty well. Especially for the conversation that you had between you and him the other night.
Oh man, if we
Is
have
it
to
gonna
fight
be-
Thalos and this guy at the same time,
Is he gonna be offended if I give my other hand?
Oh,
you
wait,
could try.
Josh,
Yeah.
high or low, do they shake with their left hand in this culture? Please. We've decided that it's a different culture. Is it possible that they would shake with their left hand culturally?
Alright, I would agree. High or low? High or low?
Ramus, this has got to be you.
Go ahead, say it. I know you want to say it.
Baby, it's always high, motherfucker!
Alright, give me the d20.
Oh god. I can't look.
Don't fuck up.
Wow.
Oh, I was wrong. I thought you were having me roll.
I'll go with
Oh,
Ramus's roll.
it should be Ramus's.
Yeah, I'm with that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, with that, he, especially being a Marid, more exotic, will go to shake your hand with his left.
That's cool. Since I know he's obviously kind of onto it, I look at him.
Goodness.
His
I'd say-
perfect screen.
we had a long conversation about consent.
All right. At the same time, he is not subtle about it. Because he does this innately. Modar would recognize it.
Detect or dispel or... Yup.
And you can see that he was mostly doing that just so he can get a very clear reading on you in particular. Gives a knowing smile. And so you are. If you would give me a moment to prepare the items.
Of course. Can I roll an insight?
Yes, go ahead.
Ah! There go the good rolls. They're gone.
He's plotting your ultimate demise. He's gonna go
Fuck.
make sure that
I
close the door.
I immediately begin rifling through my bag for my banishment materials. What would be distasteful for a Marid, just out of curiosity, because that's what the thing for banishment is.
Distasteful for banishing a Marid. Probably immediately.
Like a fire or something? I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much.
Water creature, fire, something, just anything they would find. I mean, it could be some stinky cheese if he doesn't like cheese, I guess.
I would imagine something more along the lines of almost like charcoal or something pertinent to fire, but also it's like would basically absorb water or purify it in a way.
Yeah,
forcefully.
it would affect the water. That's actually really cool. Thank you. Cool lore.
For you, Ramus, you feel he is wholeheartedly comfortable. He does believe in your ability to hold this denizen within you at bay, because he doesn't pick you up as evil. Yes.
Cool. Are these things pretty magical, or?
Not as they are effectively water genies. And just the fact that you just shook hands with a water genie is definitely something to brag about, because you know they're extraordinarily hard to barter with. Many are very paranoid. Others usually keep slaves, but it seems like this one has chosen a more pure path and protecting the denizens that it obviously works with and / serves him, but more on a consensual basis.
Is he a good person to ask about making this door one way in the meantime?
For a denizen who's highly magical like himself, 100%. You would know that pretty much all of his spells are innate spell casting, meaning even if Modar wanted to try and stop them, he probably couldn't, just on the fact that it would be near impossible to tell what he's weaving from his body alone.
Unless I'm reading his mind actively.
So when he comes back, I want to ask him about that. Or are we following him?
He told us to wait.
Alright, when he comes back, I want to ask him about making this door a little bit more one way. Or at least harder to open from the other side.
Ooh. More of Josh's sexy underwater OCs.
Actually his wives.
That I said what I said.
Hey, I mean, they are infamous for having multiple wives. Why not? There you go. See ya.
Montage, wife montage.
Alright.
Waifu materials everywhere. Underwater waifus.
Ooh, this is actually probably the first time you guys see Modar get a little bit flustered.
Ooh,
Like from a person.
Can I also ask him about
Really?
this bow?
The spell that he cast? He is more than happy to explain.
My Quitch Quiver bow, I don't know much about it.
Ah. Yeah. As he does bring the beautiful lapis lazuli runestone along with a sword in tow, his wives following and just kind of listening to the situation, as they're the ones who initially brought him the said items from various parts of the chamber.
Ooh, did they have to like put the sword back together?
100% between.
That's so fucking cool.
Oh, so the weapon was here too?
He had purposely kept it disassembled just in case somebody was trying to steal it.
Makes sense.
As for your item in question, the Quench Quiver bow, something from the elemental plane of water, many of the hunters have used it. It's also been regaled through many of the knights who protect kings and queens there. But it would allow you to be able to shoot as if you were on land with ease, as well as punish many from a distance with the power of the tides themselves.
Tell me more. Desire to know more.
Obviously, when you're using it, you would be able to invoke the arrow to either rain down as a geyser or hail down on an area, almost as if the storm and weather were attacking someone outright as well.
Oh snap, I get a rainstorm volley?
Yep. So it'd be a 3x3 square, as you could basically rain down hail from your Quench Quiver bow, and that would be as many times as you have proficiency a day. So, now, along with the geyser effect, it would take your bonus action after you hit a target with it, but effectively they would have to make a strength saving throw or be knocked 10 feet and knocked prone.
Wow.
That's geyser.
Effectively, I'll put it into a PDF. I'll have to take it out later, but yes.
Okay, and the other is essentially volley. 3x3 volley.
Yes.
Does that do, what's that, just any specific damage? Just...
Still piercing. It's obviously raining down, almost like arrows.
Okay. And is that also bonus, or is that like just a regular attack?
That would be also a bonus to activate that part.
Wow.
Okay. How long does it last, or is it just until... Or is it just damage return?
Basically, for each time you activate it. So how many... what's your proficiency levels right now?
Proficiency bonus is 5.
5.
So you'd be able to do that 5 times a day, depending on which one you activate. So each one costs a charge, and you have a charge equal to your proficiency.
Okay.
So
when he's done with the runestone and sword, I want to ask him about the door thing.
alright. And then
We should also ask if there's anything specifically that we can do after we leave here. Because whatever he might be able to do is also could be just temporary. So if he could instruct me, that would also be very good. Or not me, but Modar.
I mean, I gotta stay connected, but...
Oh!
the
Wow,
horde
pretty cool.
pertaining to Lapis Lazuli Stone.
I'm hard.
It is the grieving vindicator. And he will happily hold it out in respect towards Modar, who has kneeled down.
I will stand and accept the blade. Is it have a sheath, or is it just a...
With that, you do see that it has a sheath almost as if it was flowing water itself. As you do hold it, you can see that the lightning itself almost seems to dance along, and when you do sheath it, it electrifies the sheath, but not you as you're holding it.
Whoa.
That thing looks cool.
Yeah.
And is that the stone set into the pommel? Or the hand, the grip?
Yes, it is.
I probably took it and was holding it by the sheath, and I draw the sword and put my thumb, to pass my thumb over the stone as the lightning sparks up. What does it feel like in my hand? Does the lightning go over me at all, or is it solely on the blade?
So, as you do draw this, many of you see Modar almost as if... do you currently have mage armor on?
I did not cast it in advance of this.
All right.
Actually, I was going to. I did think about that, but because of the way this played out, it didn't seem right. So no.
Alright. So, with that, you do see what seems almost like shimmers of lightning that dance over Modar's body. Almost like it's trying to protect him. In the same respect of that, you do see the occasional sparks of lightning dancing off the blade as it's still trying to find purchase. Holding it firm to your hand, you could feel the hilt of grieving vindication basically conform to your grip to make it more relaxed and light.
Oh. I will very softly in probably primordial say the equivalent of greetings, I would say, just softly and quiet, almost to myself, but looking at the sword. And then I will look towards the water elemental, and I will say, "You do not know how much we appreciate this. that's not his voice at all. That's not
Mm.
Motor's voice at all.
He went super
his
fucking
voice
badass.
changed. His voice changed for some reason.
You do not know how great of an honor this is, and how much we appreciate this act. I thank you.
And I will bow again to the waist. And then I stand up and my eyes are drawn back to the sword. It's hard to look away. The lightning is kind of entrancing.
Very fascinating to watch. Just watching the various levels of lightning and energy just flowing up and down, occasionally crackling off. And with that, Nuttis does smile, obviously happy to see the blade in the hands of someone who clearly he has some trust in for what you have all demonstrated. As for your friend there, he kind of gestures to your arm. I would have capabilities if you would allow a day for me to give you a proper reward for your own sake.
I need the power. I just need the door to open one way if possible, or make it not open without my permission, because we have a bit of an understanding, but he's kind of a jerk, and he let me know he's a little bit of a spiteful jerk.
I would be able to make a doorway so that you'd be able to close it without wandering fingers.
This arm is the price of me refusing even more power, so... Hey man, whatever you got to help, you know?
Very well. I welcome you all to relax within my home. My wives will be of service to you. We have...
Of service?
Yes.
Modar blushes.
As she begins to nudge Modar.
Modar is staring at the ground.
But this will take...
No, we must be on our way. No, just messing.
I mean,
no, totally messing. Sorry.
The way that Modar would be like, yes, please, get us out of here.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go, I don't wanna...
If you do...
Modar's greatest fear, the party seeing him be horny.
He's being a total nerd. Oh no. But...
I would greatly appreciate any knowledge that you can pass on about this.
And just the eyes, it's hard for me to even look at this guy and talk. The lightning has like captured his attention completely. He like makes a slight motion as if to like wave it through the air, and then he kind of catches himself and sheaths the sword finally after a long moment of having it out.
He'd also like to know about your wives.
What? What? No. I didn't say that. No.
Clearly. No. With the assistance and being able to keep the ward within happy, I've been able to draw upon its powers and defenses. Are you familiar with shield or mage armor?
Very much so.
And I make I gesture towards the glass staff at one of my its holster on my hip.
I use those spells quite regularly. They allow me to spin up my other arcane protections as well.
When you do have those on you, the sword would help retaliate against those who have clashed against your magic. A rebuke, you would say. As I'm sure you are familiar, along with the other various wards of the runes, being able to breathe water and take flight would be another within your retinue, as well as being able to add the lightning to help increase your defenses. If in true desperation, you would be able to call upon either the living lightning bolts within, or one main lightning golem.
And you have like a nightstand on that side, right? Yeah.
Yo,
Does the
Thalos.
golem? Does the golem come with a nightstand?
Oh, sorry.
It's quite loud.
You'll get to summon a nightstand of lightning.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So, the two things you could summon, where are they? Living lightning bolts as well as a lightning golem. So, for obviously two living lightning bolts and one lightning golem as your defenses, as well as flight with the ability to breathe underwater, but also on every time something fails to hit you while you have shield or mage armor on, the sword itself rebukes with 3d6 lightning damage.
Holy shit. Is it an attack, or do they just take that damage?
While you're attuned to it and you have those basically those magics cast, it just automatically does that in retaliation.
3d6 like.
AKA, don't go sparring with the sword while you have those active.
Okay, good to know. Oh, holy shit.
And what is the nature of the Lord?
The Lord within is that of one of the old storm giants. He had kept watch over the city a long time ago and reached an accord. I had spoken with him personally, though I had not used the blade other than to keep the city safe. Though those who continue to assault and cause issue, as well as bring ire from the Lord within, I would imagine he would be more than happy to aid you in ending this foolishness from the land dwellers.
Thank you. And I bow again. Is there a title by which I should address them? Velthek, Lord of Storm?
No. If I was that pretentious, yeah. Oh my fucking god. Oh, where it is.
Do it.
So it is Vlenslag, the Stormbringer.
How do you spell that?
You gotta put all the cool stuff it does in, or at least that we know it does for now, in one of these channels.
I wrote this all down, so I can paste
Okay.
that. I was taking notes while he was saying that. The rebuke, water breathing, the flight, which I assume is 60, like the others.
Correct.
It has a lightning defense, and it summons living lightning bolts and a lightning golem.
See, the Elric nerd in me is kind of sad, because you and I put together have his sword, but yours is like, yeah.
What language? I would assume he would probably speak giant. Fuck, I gotta learn giant. Do they have a
translator?
yeah, like a book that I could pick up? I know, what, 5 languages already. Do they have a draconic to giant? Oh, Nira knows.
Yeah, it's
Nira could tutor me in giant.
Be an awkward conversation at first, but sure. You know, she never had to teach anyone giant.
Nira would be an excellent teacher, I think.
The
I think
aggressive.
Nero will kick your ass if you don't pay attention.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Get distracted, just like fucking slaps the top of your head.
If I were to just attack with the sword, what type of plus, or am I looking at, and what kind of damage does it do?
Would be 3d6 lightning, as well as I would use your spellcasting mod.
Ooh, okay.
And that's for attacks as well. Especially with the finite lighting, it does shift between longsword and rapier.
Ooh. Yeah, it's probably a long sword, and then it narrows a little bit. But it doesn't go all the way to rapier.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have a plus bonus? Is it magically bonus to hit?
For that, it would be a +3.
Hell yeah.
It's not lost its strength over the years, since Nodus has been keeping it.
Sexy. It's beautiful.
Now, please, come make yourselves comfortable as I help make a spigot for the tap for your arm.
Cool.
So, especially with that, pull you to one of the lower chambers down here, welcome you into his home. Obviously, the wives are more than happy to get anything you desire, as pretty much Nodus's home has pretty much everything. Between being a genie and a lord, obviously magic able to pull anything that you would desire most.
Modar would desire most the time to cast to ritually cast Identify and then cast Legend Lore.
So, especially
I don't want to.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But especially identifying it and basically getting to know full well, grieving vindication, that the Lord itself in particular, especially for the city that had fallen out of the sky, which is why that the lake had initially formed. It's one of the largest storm giant cities that had been aloft along with the cloud giants, and then was beset upon one day by various dragons and other cultists. Even though they had won the battle, unfortunately the city was far too damaged between the magics, and a lot of the wizards that had maintained it were dead. At that point, the dread realization that the king within, as now the main focal point of the Guardian, fell from the sky, causing the crater that had built the lake. Over much of the time, the water filling in had basically washed over the city, as well as the runestone itself being basically lost to time until Leviathan had left its people here, and Nodus had been called to help control raging torrent within. be able to use it to the advantage and bring peace between the sea elves and storm giants. There would be no more dangerous invasions back and forth between each other, and actually managed to bring a strange harmony between the two, and realized that they could protect each other without having to be violent all the time, as well as many of them being able to pass down much of the visions and Ordening lore that they have been trying to keep with much of their children. Especially since there was so much turmoil on the land, they had decided to stay underwater with the sea elves after the lake filled in, and avoid much of the fighting and other, grimy and greedy hands of many of the land dwellers that had constantly sought fortune and relics from these old homes that had originally fallen from the sky. As for you, Ashiki, you do hear, it's quite unique. It's almost like hearing the song resonate through a harmonized crystal through this chamber in the water. It's like being surrounded by the sound.
One of you's got to talk eventually.
Yeah. But it just sounds like being resonated around all the sound itself in one area, and it's quite beautiful.
Shiki, I could hear you talking in the other room, but I don't think it was coming through.
You muted yourself.
No, I haven't said anything. I was just like doing stuff in the background, like vibing. Like I didn't. This wasn't like me about to do something. I was. This is just flavor.
Right. Yes. Obviously, I'd assume the rest would be happily taking advantage of some of the situation, but would take the good portion of 4 hours as he does weave what seems almost like an armlet at the base where your arm meets the shadow, Ramus, and it no longer looks like licking fire as long as you keep the, spigot closed, per se. But unfortunately, your arm still remains entirely engulfed in shadow. But at least you now have control of it for when you want to release and call upon the power, or even just talk to the Sybarex directly again without him being more invasive and aggressive.
Wise Nardus, when you have a chance, I have a question.
I'd be delighted to answer it if I can.
Considering your nature as a water djinn, or an elemental djinn-like figure, as when someone seeks power, either through a wish or through deal-making, is it possible? Do your kind require souls to be sacrificed? Or is that merely the purview of demons and devils?
That would be upon the purview of demons and devils. Personally, many of us would require some form of servitude if they were to receive such a wish, or one that would be a reasonable trade. Obviously, procurement and some exotic items, or others to benefit ourselves, have been necessary to some, though the limit of our capabilities of wishes are not without some limitations.
Let's see. And to your knowledge, is there any way to fully banish a demon from this particular realm? Could a wish from one of your kind do it?
You can see he thinks very carefully on this. Permanently would be a difficulty, but one I could impose where if they were to be called back, no small task in itself. Though...
Are we gonna send Talbert back? Let's do it.
I'm trying to do the research.
Though the extent of such a wish and power would definitely require something in trade respectfully.
A soul? No, not a soul. I'm sorry. Servitude? As you mentioned before, or something worse?
Usually a servitude, though I know many consider that a curse to some, as they have been pulled away, but those who pay a price must respect it. Obviously, some are more violent, and many of the other marrieds from where I preside do not carry such a respected tone of mortals.
Understand. And while that day has not come yet, it may yet come that I may need to ask a favor that may require my servitude. But I will not think of such things now. Thank you for your hospitality.
I am glad to enlighten you.
Alright, I guess we're just gonna stay and chill until he does his thing, huh?
For the time. But especially as you do feel the wards go into place, Ramus. Something feels different about this, especially now that you have more articulated control of the situation, especially for what you had thought of originally. You basically feel what you had questioned before. The ability to grant gifts. Though, the limitation of that, you feel like you might have to test. But there's something much deeper. Something almost like the etheric core of the runestone. Something past the Sybarex that it seems like he's been hiding. That you assume that maybe your other fellow hunters that have been cursed with this blade might have found, and why they lived as long as they did.
Ooh. So there's something else that he didn't want me to know. Ooh.
Roll me an insight as you kind of take hold of this feeling. And especially for as you watch this kind of like feeling take grip, you can see that Nuttis, as much as, you know, being a djinn very powerful in strength, does have his own limitations, looks very exhausted for the level that he is trying his best to weave for you.
Anybody got anything that's going to help me in this insight roll?
Alright. That... It's fairly faint. You're not sure if it's fully accurate of what you feel there, but almost kind of contesting control for a brief moment between you and the Sybarex, you feel that other creatures that are still within the ward, as they have called it, might be at your beck and call, though you're not sure how much this could exhaust you physically.
Do I know what kind of creatures, or is that up to for further investigation at some point?
It would take further investigation. There is 10 at the forefront that you can sense, but those are the ones that you know of significant power between the Son of Dagon, the water elementals, and all the other various creatures that you have locked away within the shadows.
Wait, I didn't eat the Son of Dagon, no? Or
Oh no, you didn't. So that is true. You would not have the Son of Dagon, but you do have the water elemental and a few others within that listing.
Yeah.
You got that wizard guy, right?
Yeah.
The one who made the potion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
You also got Drider Spice.
Oh wait, no.
Oh yeah.
He didn't get the wizard. He got Drider Spice, but the one who had shown he became an Arcanoloth had escaped. So.
Oh yeah, Dorian Seville. He definitely escaped.
Yeah.
That's Aratriss's man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, so you're telling me can I like call on their abilities, or can I like summon these things in shadow?
Summon.
Summon?
Yes. But you're not sure how tired that would make you physically.
Or what it would take to control them.
Wait, did you devour Veronica Fairbridge? I think Jin killed her. I can't remember.
I don't know. Damn, I wish I kept hold of these. What about all the low level lapdogs that I use for heal monkeys?
Mm-hmm.
Can I like summon an army of these dudes?
If you wanted to call a swarm of soldiers, yes.
All right, we're gonna do some investigation. There's gonna be some meditating on this. And in terms of this, I'm assuming I can communicate in, or at least communicate to it into a point, and it doesn't come out then?
Correct. Long as you can turn off the band entirely. Obviously, still turn it back on later, but you choose basically when you want to allow it some freedoms.
Okay, my buffing arm?
Yes.
Man, I gotta figure out what kind of gifts I can give. Alright, I don't, I mean, he did his thing. How long is this gonna last, or?
So long as you don't take the band off. He basically gave you like a runic bicep band to keep the shadow arm under control.
It's like a sweatband.
Pretty much. Covered with the various glyphs to keep it under control.
Alright, cool. So I've got my little Under Armour sweatband, runic sweatband.
Did we just lose?
Probably right.
Rain. Uh-oh.
Rain.
What?
I think everyone's slowly
Deteriorating. Yeah.
Go
ahead.
I was gonna say, past the legend lore and the identify is there. I'm probably not able to attune to this thing instantly, right?
Correct. So with the 4 hours that go, you would attune over time as you sit there and study for a while.
Okay. You let me know the moment that I'm attuned.
Pretty much part way between what the Meridnatus has done. You'd be able to sense the connection once it's kind of anchored to you.
Can I see where that connection goes?
Alright, going into meditative state and looking in.
Just, yeah, to see. Like, this is not something Modar's ever experienced firsthand. He's heard a lot about it, especially recently, but
All right.
he's almost less interested in finding what's at the end of the tether than examining the tether itself, and then in doing so, he will get to the end of it, right?
Pretty much. So, as you especially follow that magical tether, it almost feels like as if storm clouds have been roiled up around you. Not taking you violently, but almost swaying you between the storm and pulling you into what seems to be a city far more vast than yourself. You see other various denizens, other giants walking around between the cloud and the storm. Some that don't even realize that you're there and almost have to kind of weave between many of the various footfalls. But you can see down one of the main streets as you look around and kind of take in this old civilization that seems to have kind of been somewhat absorbed into this sword. One king sitting on his throne, far at the end of the lane, almost as if he sees you directly, even though you would be a mere speck between the city and all the other denizens. You can feel that he knows you're there, and he can sense that you are able to see him from your distance.
I look around at the city, but I feel like my attention is drawn to this massive figure, like all the way at the end of this huge lane. Does he have like a massive version of the sword?
Exactly that, except when the one that he's holding in hand looks to be that of a great sword, one that is the very classic pose of one arm on the throne and the other hand outreached, holding down onto the sword as the lightning courses through the city on the main tiles down from the throne.
Even from this distance, with the weight of his eyes, I will bow and not approach unless I'm given some sort of signal from him. I bow and then I look up. Does he have any sort of expression?
Did we
that I
tell Modar that, with the exception of the green gem, we've basically had to throw hands with all of these other things?
Yeah, normally there's like a trial involved.
No, nobody told him that.
Yeah. So he does nod to you, Modar, almost beckoning you to approach, almost in a not a cruel way, but almost of a curiosity of if you can.
It's a challenging look he's giving me. Okay. I mean, I will. Do I seem to have my things with me?
You have everything on you. It's almost as if your body just kind of fell into this world.
With the challenge, I will take the moment to pull my staffs, and I'll tap the crystal staff on the ground, and a host of tiny mirrors like shoot up all around me, and in so doing, my arcane ward also like forms itself, and so the larger mirror floats like it's almost surfboard shaped, like kind of behind me. And I will begin my approach. I'm not running, but I am walking with a purpose. Walking like you would in a city. It seems I have a long trek, and Modar has a suspicion that the distance is less about walking and more about determination.
You definitely feel correct in that assumption. You feel almost as if not wind, some other force is pushing you. Feels almost like the air is alive and static with all the electricity coursing around. You'd see the other various creatures that have clearly assaulted the city before, some that have been purposely kept within cages, others that are loon and remain as trophies, echoes from battles long past. Go ahead and roll me a wisdom saving throw as you see these various trophies and you try to continue forward towards the king that sits upon the throne.
Okay. I have advantage on wisdom saving throws. Hell yes. Put a 29 in your pipe and smoke it.
So, a definite breeze as you see these. They do not make you waver at all, and you are not pushed back spiritually, and you've seen far worse already and continue to immediately press forward. The weight, the static electricity trying to rend you from this location, it's nothing. And you continue in stride easily towards the king, and you can even see an approving nod for an excellent start.
There's just, I think the thought in Modar's head, right now at least, is he was ripped bodily through the elemental planes when he was pulled here. If only for a moment, he has experienced far worse.
As you press forward, continues on to what seems maybe other possible failures that the king has experienced. Looking into these echoing pasts, you can see almost like doorways in these various parts of the cities, but they lead into more expansive areas, places where it looks like he's lost loved ones or compatriots, battles that were immensely important, ones that might have even expanded the control of the storm giants. Go ahead and roll me charisma saving throw.
Advantage on that as well. Vidalkin Dispassion coming in clutch-a-rooney right now. It's a 20, not nat.
Especially feeling the sorrow of all these moments wash over you, but you know that this was not yours. This was not your regret, but also you realize and are able to respect the sorrow this king holds on to here, and what he had tried to do with his power, but was unable to, even with the immense strength that he carried. And he pushed forward once again.
Determination not to let something like this happen again.
With that, as you get close to the bottom of the throne, you sense one more final test. Almost a crossroads in a way. You sense one route would be able to take you to a new level of strength within the sword itself, unlocking much of its abilities and granting you boons that you'd not even imagined. Another would be to continue down the road that you're currently on, comforted knowing what you've learned and able to use the abilities you have carefully. And then the last is to let your emotions completely rule your decision. You feel them all pulling at you in different directions mentally, even some confusing that is not your thoughts of your own, routes that you know were not presented to you before, never even crossed your mind in this imaginative scape. Roll me an intelligence saving throw.
Oh.
Goddamn, kill it.
That is my big one. That's my plus 10. And I made sure I pulled out the Staff of Power for the plus 2.
With that, you are allowed to travel up the steps. Each course of lightning that passes by you, arcing over or even almost through you, not harming you, but almost as an acceptance of its new ward in charge. King looking down at you, the lightning dripping from his eyes, almost as if he weeps for the city, but also a very stoic and knowing look that courses down to you. I see Nodus chose wisely for the next keeper.
I will bow again and raise my head and say,
It is strange. I
look around for a moment.
even this is more reminiscent of my home than where I stand. It is as if it was meant to be.
And you know full well the grievance is lost.
And I think you now know that I will stand against anything that comes. The law must be upheld. The innocents must be saved. We must protect them with all of our strength.
I will not lie dormant. Clearly, it has come to the age of ending an era of brutality and bloodshed.
Your guidance and wisdom will be much appreciated. I look forward to working with you, my lord.
I will share all the knowledge I have, small one. With that, he will reach down with a singular fingertip extended. And in a beautiful, immaculate spark of lightning, comes raining down and strikes into your forehead. It's at this moment that you see the city itself being made before it took aloft. The runestones that had been taken, the giants that were there accompanying the various parties and previous heroes that had stolen them away from Hestur. The trials that many had gone through to try and purify them or even contain the denizens within. You realize and have full knowledge of what you had seen and heard about before. Where the yellow mirror lies within the Underdark.
Oh.
With that, you feel your body leave this audience chamber, pushed out with the knowledge that's been burned into your mind, and awaken in the chamber with Nodus and Remus as they are working, Thalos and Ashiki watching over. Almost a soft reverberation. You feel the air become static around you, like the king himself when he was sitting upon the throne.
Yeah, I think my eyes have that same lightning weeping effect as I open them, and it fades. Lightning rains out, but it doesn't seem to refill the same way his did. Ah. I kind of look around almost as if I'm expecting to accidentally shoot a lightning bolt out of my hand. Just kind of very carefully. I probably was meditating. I had the sword out on my lap. I will stand up into like a kneeling position so I can sheath the sword at my waist, and then sit back down cross-legged. If Thalos is not currently busy, I will probably look over and say, that was different than I expected it to be. Oh, Ishiki is also there, depending who.
See that the power has already infused itself in you.
Yeah, you're looking a little lightningy.
I have communed with the Stormbringer, and I stand up, and there's like, it's almost like Modar is a little bit heavier, inexplicably. Like, he seems to have a little bit more weight to his movements. It's weird. The ground just, it's a little bit like more of a tremor than it should be for how slight he is.
A murmur through the water.
We have, and I have glimpsed into his knowledge. Is the elemental is Nodis in here with us, or is he helping?
He would be in
Ramus?
there helping Remus at the time.
Okay, he's also here helping Remus. Okay. Fuck it. I trust this dude. He gave us this thing.
He has revealed to me the location of the yellow mirror. I know where our enemy is.
I nod.
Which enemy?
I don't know.
The one who seeks the yellow mirror.
With that,
We're talking Elgrim, right?
with that, knowing where the yellow mirror is, you would know full well that's where Hashtra waits to enter the world.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
So
Yeah,
that's
that was
like an end game goal.
And you got peeped in on that last time, right, Ramus? Like,
Yeah.
that's what they're trying to do. Come through.
Yeah, and we're trying to get Daddy Delacroix, then possibly go to where my order is or was to find the way there. Like, we know where it is now, I guess, but we just gotta find the road there. That takes half of, well, 1 out of 2 things off our box, I guess, or 1 out of 3 things.
I have another question, Josh.
Yeah.
In my knowledge that I gained, you mentioned that the runestones were taken. Do I have knowledge of any other runestones that we currently, like, that we did not know of before? Something that might have been lost to time.
Yes, one of the original runestones was the pearlescent runestone, which is missing. Though the weapon you did see in the brief vision of that one was a staff.
Oh.
of the other along with that, you had seen the rapier that had been whisked away was also included amongst those various items, which means that this rapier had been either stolen or passed around significantly before it had made its way to Veronica Fairbridge. Possibly a constant war for this particular item, never mind the other various gemstones amongst yourselves.
Yikes.
It's made from yellow cake uranium.
Jesus fuck.
Wait, so like you can eat it?
Definitely.
That's right. Pelgrim made off with it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the rapier.
Sneaky little bastard. That, I think, is a good spot to leave off on, as you are...
Oh, I should ask him about the Eden Souls thing.
Nodis? Are you gonna ask him?
Say, hypothetically, asking for a friend.
We'll get to that.
Maybe next time.
Maybe.
Oh.
Also, everyone gets 500 XP. Excellent RP. But also, not having to bust out in the full palace of the Merid who's been keeping the sword safe.
You did 500?
Yes.
And I'm
not
quite surprised we didn't have to kill anybody.
It was really good fucking persuasion checks, honestly.
I think all that adventure is purely a shiki.
Kudos to the bard.
Thank you.
Some D&D-esque shit right there.
Goddamn right.
Oh, Josh, what do the lightning summons look like?
I'll have to find one for the lightning golem. But let me to grab a living lightning bolt for you.
Alright, good night, peeps.
Night.
Rest well.
Rest well. See you in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Good game, y'all. I'm busting.
Eventually.
Out. Peace.
Night.
Good night. But that would be the living lightning bolt.
Ooh. Sexy. Is that from the... That's the Eberron one, right? The living lightning bolt from the the spell?
Yes.
Yeah. That shit's badass. Oh, these toys. I have such a hard on for lightning shit.
Yeah, I'm surprised that didn't break down into a fight. Some...
I really did not want to fight that guy.
Come on.
That would have been very bad for us.
Don't you want to fight the Merid in his own home?
No.
Or you can't counterspell him at all because he's all innate spellcasting.
Like a punky boy.
Like a punk, biatch.
Punk habituals.